What's going on, CDL fans or anyone new to the game that might be tuning in to watch this one? Toy Car Demolition Derby at its finest. And it's done with teams and stuff. For those of you who are new and don't know what's going on, yes, this is a CDL jersey, custom made. You know, a lot of things that you can do with the green marker and a white t-shirt. But nonetheless, these Boston Vandals won't be on this vid today. Home against Puerto Rico. One of the many games that you can request. Of course, the 5 main games going to be on here. Phoenix, Portland, Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, Hartford, New Orleans, San Jose, and Jacksonville and Buffalo going to be taking each other on in the main event. So usually it's 5 games per game day. But nonetheless, here's the whole list. Going to go on ahead and show that for you. And you know, the whole copyright music thing, so let me get my rap voice ready here. I don't know, I gotta create some kind of a song for this league, because you know how bands are.
You take my son. Hanging in my money, my son. Even though Jimmy doesn't make a freaking dime off this shit, I want my money for my son.
Yeah, that's you, every big band like Taylor, well, okay, Taylor Swift ain't a band, but I wouldn't use her shitty music anyway. But nonetheless, here you go. Here's a list of all the games that are going to be happening on this March 6th edition of CDL Live. And if it ain't on there, like your favorite team or whatever, go on ahead and feel free to request it on Facebook at Car Demolition League. Definitely appreciate any of the support. And if you have an interest in maybe becoming a team owner, it's an everybody sport. You know, you don't have to be a 300-pound linebacker that's, you know, built to, like, you know, kill people. But you know, but you can actually be you know, it's anybody's sport. You know, toy cars on the field, you pick 4, and so nonetheless, yeah. But visit us on Facebook, like us and everything, and hope you enjoy the game day. Here's the list of games, and then it's right down to the field for the battle between the Phoenix Firebirds and the Portland Panthers to kick off our March 6th game day. So let's get it rolling. Okay, the rule supposedly is nothing past 15 seconds. You know, no song past 15 seconds. So that was 15 seconds of one song. So here's 15 seconds of another, and we'll just keep doing it that way. All right? Cool beans. Okay, yeah, I think you get the point. So, yeah, we're gonna keep doing it.
I'ma do what I wanna do when I do it. Ain't nothing that you can do when I'm gon' do it. Rap game recognize the game, and we came to bring the pain. I'ma do what I wanna do when I do it. Ain't nothing that you can
Yeah, haha, Snoop Dogg,
Dub C.
all up in here. Bang, bang, yeah, straight G thing, yeah.
Cold of the nights, dropping these things.
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CDL Live. We are about to be underway with this March 6th game day, this March 6th edition of CDL Live, and kicking it off, or smashing it off, should I say, Matt Geiser's Phoenix Firebirds on the road to take on the Portland Panthers. Should be a good game. Let's take a look at where these teams are coming from. Let's look at what they did in the last game, March 4th game day. Portland Panthers got the home side of the field today, but they are coming off of a loss, and a tough one at that. 15-5 at the hands of the St. Louis Twisters in the main event of that March 4th CDL Live. As for the Phoenix Firebirds, big win for them. 15-5 win over Roswell. Looking for similar results here today. Phoenix comes into this game here with a record of 3 wins, 1 loss, no ties, and 1 overtime loss. 10 points on the season, trying to fight their way up to the top of the Southern Division that they currently are the champions of, defending champs of the Southern Division. For the Portland Panthers, they try to hang in there and battle for the lead in the Pacific Division. They got a 3-2 record right now, and coming to this game day, we're sitting right behind, just a game behind the LA Blades for first place in the, they currently held second place in the Pacific Division, and of course, you have to go on ahead and request some games. So that being said, you saw the list. Go on ahead. Feel free to request some of these other games that happen. Nevada was a 3-2 team. San Jose was a 3-2 team. Well, actually, you're going to see San Jose in a little bit. But LA, 4-1 team. Request those games. Maybe see how they did and, see what's up with that one. But nonetheless, good game about to take place, which Miku just refuses to allow to happen. I think she's in heat, folks. Our mascot facing dire times in her life right now. But nonetheless, before getting the game started, though, between the Firebirds and the Panthers, gotta say welcome home to Tim Geyser. He made it out of the hospital, back home recovering, getting well and whatnot. Tim, still keeping it on the field for you. We miss you here in the Car Demolition League, so but welcome back home. So that being said, hopefully we can get him out here to see a game day soon enough. But that being said, to the game part of things, let's go look at the lineups here for these two squads. Should be a great game. Phoenix Firebirds and the Portland Panthers. Here we go. Bully Goat will start things off for the Firebirds. Good defensive car, and he'll be taking on Monty from the Portland side. See, Portland doesn't have the defense really to match up with Phoenix. So use the heavyweight, which can topple over defense. Alright? In theory, So here we go. Game about to take place. Making sure that I hit record because your memory starts to go once you hit your late 20s. And nonetheless, Bully Goat and Mati should be a good battle between these two, heavyweight versus a lightweight defensive car. And obviously you see Mati getting the better of it so far, but he got a little kind of topsy-turvy himself, stayed up in the end. So good defensive move by Monty, even though he's more known for that smash mouth offensive style. And he's definitely forcing Bully Goat back in this one, and he has the flip there. 5-0 Portland in the lead, and out comes Mika for the Firebirds now. He's got some weight to him, and an interference will save Mika there, though. Monty would have had it. Interference keeps Mika alive, and this matchup continues, and this time Mika has a good clean flip on Monty there. And the score now tied at 5. Purple Fire now out there for the Portland Panthers. And both Purple Fire and Mika are down. We got a 10-10 game. Matchup moving along here. It's been a good one. Now 2 defensive cars out there at the captain spot. Octanium out there for the Phoenix Firebirds. Solar Reflex out there for the Portland Panthers. And what a game to start this whole thing off. And Solar Reflex saved by the interference there. Octanium running into his teammates causes the interference. They'll redo this thing. And that time, both cars still up. Going to switch sides here. Octanium and Solar Reflex going at it. A good battle on hand between these two right now. 2 good defensive cars, and this could be one that lasts so long, no doubt about it. Portland looks to overtake Phoenix in the standings. They're only a point behind them. And of course, Phoenix trying to widen the gap. And wow, Octanium coming close to going down, but coming up each time. Some cars just don't go down. And Octanium, it's just, he's getting knocked around silly, but that time delivering a good hit, but Solar Reflex up to the defensive challenge of staying up there. They're playing on opposite sides of the field right now, too. And Octanium not giving up that home side of the field at the moment. Staying up hit after hit. Maybe he needs the roadside again. And that time an interference. And neither car was down. So, but nonetheless, the interference puts them back to their own sides of the field. And they'll keep going at it here. Octanium and Solar Reflex. What a matchup. And Solar Reflex has the flip right there. 15-10 now. The Portland Panthers have taken the lead. Solar Reflex looking to put it away. Green Arrow, the legendary one from the Phoenix Firebirds, coming out at the 5-point gainer position, trying to force overtime. He's got some crash bowls under his belt. And he looks to get a win here for the Firebirds, but of course he need to go 2-0 in order to do so. As he battles with Solar Reflex here, and that time both cars still up, switching sides. Yet again, both cars again still up. Solar Reflex trying to get the flip and the win. And it's not going to happen there. Green Arrow will force overtime. He's a good car, a talented car, able to get it done in the clutch. He's done it for years. So now, Green Arrow going to be taking on Blue Lamborghini. Score tied at 15, and we are in overtime. Here we go. And that time, I think we had an interference. So, we are going to do a review to see if there was. The call is interference, so both cars still up, but if it gets overturned, we will have a tie game. So we're going to see if there was an interference on that play, because I'm pretty sure Blue Lamborghini hit Octanium on the side there. So we'll be back and let you know what the result of that play was. Are we going to have a tie game, or does overtime continue? Well, after a close review that I looked up at it and looking at how the collision happened, the ruling on the field is overturned. There was no interference. Rather, 15-15, the final score between both of these squads because of that. So game over. 15-15. We start this March 6th game day with a tie between the Phoenix Firebirds and the Portland Panthers. Both teams played one heck of a game, but in the end, neither of them better than the other. 15-15 final score, tie for each of them. For the Phoenix Firebirds and the Portland Panthers, it's their first tie of the season for both squads. They both walk away with 2 points from this game. Phoenix will take a 3-1, 1-1 record into the next game day on the March 9th. They will be on the road to take on the Dallas Lone Stars. As for the Portland Panthers, Portland will be on the road to take on the Boston Vandals. They'll have the 3 wins, 2 loss, 1 tie, no overtime loss record as they head into that March 9th game day to take on the Boston Vandals. So that's what to look forward to if maybe you're a fan of either team or looking forward to the next game day and maybe see another game just like this. But what a game it was. Ends in a tie. There was no interference. Would have seen Octanium move on that video had Blue Lamborghini went full force into him, and didn't look like Octanium moved just a little lower to him. If you got your own opinions, hey, shout it out. But nonetheless, final score 15-15 between Phoenix and Portland. Coming up next on CDL Live on this March 6th edition, Central Division Showdown about to take place. The Chicago Wind Attack on the road to take on the St. Louis Twisters. Should be an awesome matchup right there. And it's next, so stay tuned. Welcome, CDL fans, back to this March 6th edition of CDL Live. Only 4 games left to go in the game day, and they should be good ones if that first game between Phoenix and Portland was any indication. Next game on tap for you, we got the team that's first place in the Western Conference right now, the St. Louis Twisters, on the home side of the field, ready to go at it with their Central Division rivals, the Chicago Wind Attack. Wind Attack only 4 points behind the Twisters right now. A win in regulation today would only put them 1 point behind. So big game in that perspective for both these squads. St. Louis still has not lost a game in regulation. They come into this game with a record of 4 wins and 1 overtime loss. No ties, no regulation losses. On the visitor side of the field here, or on the other glove, if you will, the Chicago Wind Attack, they come into this game already with their bye out of the way, but whatever. 4 games into their season. They have a record of 3 wins and just 1 regulation loss. So St. Louis's OT loss kind of gives them that extra point, and thus they sit 4 points ahead of Chicago right now. So that being said, should be an interesting battle. Jim Holt Sr., Chicago Wind Attack, and the St. Louis Twisters, first place in the Western Conference right now, by the way. Who saw that come? Well, at least coming into the game day they were. The question is, can they remain there? And we're about to find out. So that being said, let's get a look at the lineups. Chicago, St. Louis. Who would have saw the Twisters at first place in the West after last season? Certainly not me, but, you know, whatever. Lines, let's show them.
From a jungle with a trunk load of punk hoes.
Okay, here we go. 2 heavyweight smash mouth cars starting this game off. Inferno out there for the Chicago Wind Attack, and for St. Louis, it'll be Silver Indy. And they'll go head to head, and Silver Indy has the flip there. So 5-0 the score. St. Louis in the lead. Out comes Highlight for the Chicago Wind Attack. And almost an interference, but there was not. About 2 centimeters away from my pant leg there. We'll switch sides and go at it again, and Highlight on the defensive, but staying in it. Keeping the home side of the field too, and that time an interference, and wow. That was just Silver Indy forcing Highlight into his own teammates, into Silver Indy's own teammates. Just pushed him into the whole St. Louis side and got the home side back. So an interference there. So still on their own sides. They'll keep going at it. Highlight staying up and hanging in there. Best Eddie Kenny's got the home side back. They switch sides here, and right again they'll switch sides right back. Both these cars looking for some ground. 5-0 Twisters are ahead on the scoreboard right now. Highlight trying to change that. Trying to tie this game up. And that time is an interference. So they'll stay on their own sides of the field. No flip there. Still a 5-0 game. And now they will switch sides. No interference on that last collision. Nor on that one. These 2 cars putting on a good show right now. As you would expect for a CDL live event. Am I not right? You know, I mean, come on. Highlight was still up off screen, so this battle continuing. Highlight and Silver Indy going at it. Such a good battle right now between these 2, and Highlight has actually punctured a hole in the front of this hard plastic of Highlight. Holy cow. Just beat down. It's kind of just in your grill, literally. Seeing these 2 cars go at it. They are now on opposite sides of the field from where they started, and ooh, Highlight somehow, some way stayed up there. So they go back on their own sides here. Still a 5-0 game in favor of the Twisters. And this time, highlight is down. Silver Indy has the flip, and St. Louis has the 10-0 lead. What a fight there. And now R coming out for the Chicago Wind Attack. Trying to deal with Silver Indy, who's just been spectacular today, and he gets jammed in there. We'll keep going at it here. Okay. Kind of turned to a tailspin on the part of Silver Indy. And that time the game is over. Silver Indy getting the game-winning flip in a dominant performance. Silver Indy going 3-0. Some hard-fought battles in there, especially the one he had with highlight, but he gets the job done and dominantly. 15-0 the final score. The St. Louis Twisters coming out and laying waste to the Chicago Wind Attack, who, I mean, they've been strong, but now this is their second straight shutout that they've taken. Well, second straight shutout loss they've taken back-to-back. I mean, losing to Seattle, now to St. Louis. The Wind Attack, are they in trouble now? They fall to 3-2 on the season. Their next game going to be on the road against definitely an opponent that they can beat. They will be on the road to take on the Denver Mustangs. That's Chicago's next game. As for the St. Louis Twisters, they hang on the first place in the Western Conference. Their next game, it should be a good one. Let me just put it that way. Central Division showdown between the Twisters and the Nashville Nighthawks. Both games available upon request for that March 9th game day. That being said, this matchup is over. 15-0. The Twisters surprisingly, well, I shouldn't say it's a surprise that they won the game. It's just the manner in which they won it. 15-0. I did not see that one coming. But all credit goes to Silver Indy there. Hell of a job by that car. Able to get those 3 flips and able to get that shutout win. So definitely Silver Indy an MVP right now as far as this game's concerned. But coming up next, we got 3 more games on this March 6th edition of CDL Live. Next one up could end up being the best one of this game day. It'll be Matt Geiser's Atlanta Avengers on the road to take on his brother Tim Geiser's Hartford Homies. Both those teams with a 4-1 record, and they're both going head-to-head. Next on CDL Live. Stay tuned. Welcome back to CDL Live. It's our middle game of this March 6th edition of CDL Live, I guess you could say. I know I'm repeating things, but nonetheless, Matt Geiser's Atlanta Avengers on the road set to take on Tim Geiser's Hartford Homies. Now, this could potentially be a battle for first place in the Eastern Conference, or, well, at the very least, second place. It would all depend on how Bradford did today, which I don't want to spoil it for you. You can find out for yourself at the end when I give away all the scores, or you could request the game between Bradford and Cleveland. Oh, yeah, games upon request. It's like CDL on demand. What's up? But nonetheless, Matt Geiser's Atlanta Avengers on the field here. Tim Geiser's Hartford Homies on the field. Tim back home. I think I've mentioned it earlier in this game day, but if I have not, Tim Geiser out of the hospital, back home. Glad to have him back with the family. Him and his dog's coming back on Wednesday. Zach and Zachary Thomas is what Tim named him after his favorite linebacker. So Zach will be also coming back home on Wednesday to join him. So that will be a happy reunion. Happy to have both of them back. Let's put it that way. But that being said, we got a good matchup about to take place. Both of these teams with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. Both of them going out here trying to hang on to the leads in their respective divisions. For Atlanta, the Southeast, Hartford, Northeast. So that being said, we got an interesting game about to take place. Atlanta Avengers and the Hartford Homies, possible Eastern Conference Finals. Well, in the early going, it sure looks it. Let's get a look at the lineups.
Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on, come on. We ready? We ready? Come on, break bread, ho. Break bread, ho. Come on, break bread, ho. Break. You feel that?
Matt Geiser's Atlanta Avengers, starting things off with Clown. For the Hartford Homies, it will be 46 Jr. out there for them. Game on. And both cars still up, still going at it, and Clown has the flip on 46 Jr. So the score, 5-0, Avengers in the lead. Out comes Hammer for the Hartford Homies. Such a heavy low front end car, and Hammer has the flip, and we are tied at 5. Black Marinello now out there for the Atlanta Avengers to take on Hammer. Hammer, just such a low front end, smash mouth vehicle. Used to be more offensive, but that injury that he took a while back and the tape job, yep, he's a smash mouth guy now, and he takes down Black Marinello there and gives Hartford the 10-5 lead. And now Hammer going for 3-0 as he takes on 40 here. And 40 will tie this game up at 10. And this has been a surprise, is that Atlanta got rid of their defensive powerhouse, Octanium, sent him to Phoenix, and they're doing great right now. I mean, they just have all smash. They are just, Atlanta's just such an old school CDL team. They are just so smash mouth and in your face and up in your grill and hard hitting and smacking. But that's the Atlanta Avengers, and it's paying off for them right now. 40 going to be taking on Pink Indy of the, Indy 5 rather, of the Hartford Homies. Sorry about that, Timbo. But Indy, it's hard to tell them apart. Same color and everything. The same model car and everything, But anyways, Pink Indy. You did it again. Yes, I did it again. Anyways, Indy 5 out there for Hartford, trying to get that 15-10 lead. 40 out there for Atlanta, looking to do the same thing, but it's going to be Indy 5 getting the flip. 40 is down, and Hartford gets the lead back. 15-10 the score. Enzo 2 now out there for Atlanta, trying to force overtime for the Avengers. Not going to be able to do it. So this one ends, but it was a good one. And in the end, Indy 5 sealing the deal. Sounds like an old school Demons game when Indy 5 and Pink Indy were on the same squad. Yeah, back when you could have identical cars on the same squad. But anyways, 15-10 the final score. One hell of a game here that we just saw. No doubt about it. Hartford Homies getting the win over the Atlanta Avengers. Hartford going to 5-1 on the season. Doing very well. Their next game going to be a fun one to watch. On that March 9th game day, the Homies take their 5-1 record on the road to the Gowanda side and, take on the Gowanda Outlaws. So, Homies, Outlaws on March 9th. As for the Atlanta Avengers, they fall to 4-2 on the season. And their next game going to be a cross-conference battle against the New Orleans Gladiators. And actually, both those games are going to be on CDL Live on that March 9th edition. As a matter of fact, Hartford and Gowanda going to be main eventing the thing. So, going to be a fun one. That being said, 2 more games to go here on this March 6th game day. Coming up next is going to be one of those games. Brandon's San Jose Storm taking on, well, I just mentioned their name, the New Orleans Gladiators. Going to be a fun one to watch. Gladiators Storm next on CDL Live. Stay tuned. Welcome back to CDL Live, folks. Our next game, our second last game of this March 6th edition, about to take place, and it should be a good one. We've had some pretty good games so far, for the most part. 2 out of 3 were pretty close and competitive. This one, I actually think should be making it 3 out of 4. So this should be a great game. The New Orleans Gladiators on the road to take on Brandon's San Jose Storm. New Orleans coming into this game with a 4-win, 1-loss record. No ties, no OT losses, 12 points on the season. Doing well for themselves and trying to hang on to the lead in the Southern Division, as a matter of fact. As for the home side of the field, the San Jose Storm, they come into this game with a record of 3 wins, 2 losses, no ties, no OT losses. 9 points overall, and looking to obviously keep up in that Pacific Division where it's really tight right now. You get to see Portland tie earlier, so that put Portland to 11 points on the season, basically. So with the win, San Jose could get past them in the standings. So critical game for both teams, and don't want to ruin what happened with San Antonio, but they played against the San Francisco Shinobis today. They also had a 4-1 record. San Antonio did. So depending on how they did, this could have an impact on the lead of the Southern Division for the New Orleans Gladiators, as well as they battle it out with San Antonio for the lead in that division. So, but again, don't want to get spoilers away. If you want to find out, watch the scores at the end and see the standings at the end. It's all going to be updated for you. But if you want to request games and know, exactly. So, but nonetheless, the 4-1 Gladiators on the road to take on the 3-2 Storm should be a fun one to watch. Let's get a look at the lineups.
Are you breathing? Are you breathing? Now. Are you breathing?
Okay, coming out first for the New Orleans Gladiators to get this game underway, a car Brandon should be familiar with without any doubt, because he's got a car very similar to him. Golden Rat. He's a ratified model out there, of course, modified front end due to injury. But Golden Rat will start things off for the New Orleans Gladiators, and quite the proper response from Brandon here, putting out 48 hours to meet him. Leading the way for the Storm here, but 48 hours down right away, and that was just a weird way to go down. Just slid and went on his side. Like, I'm looking at this like, not much of a bump there. I mean, a little bit of one, but there's bumps on both sides of the field. Just a weird way to go down there. Went on his side and didn't even turn, just stayed on his side. 5-0 New Orleans. Out comes Charizard, the rookie of the San Jose Storm. Well, one of the rookies. A lot of promise. He's a Lena, you know. Lena models, Molina models have a lot of success in this league, and some success for Charizard right there. Score tied at 5, and now he gets set to take on Menace. Menace definitely more the offense, smash mouth, low front end offense of the Gladiators, and interference that time. Both cars still up, 5-5 game. This Charizard and Menace battle it out here, and Charizard has the flip there. He's 2-0 on the night. Going for 3-0 in the win now, and the only car in his way to stop him from doing that is Tigray. Good defensive car from that New Orleans side. And the interference that time. So both cars back to their own end here. Tigray and Charizard going at it. Going at it yet again from their own sides here. Good matchup on hand. 10-5 the score. Storm in the lead. Almost had the win there. Tigray staying up somehow, some way. Keeping in this game. Both these cars going at it. And almost an interference there, but there was none. Both cars still up, and both are going to be back on their own side of the field. Now I wonder which side favors each car more. To be on the visitor side or the home side. You'd think home side. And that time Tigray staying up somehow. He gets back to the home side of the field now. Charizard and Tigray putting on a show here without any doubt. And actually, Charizard made a very long trip from where he came from to get here. So he takes on, it's one of the cars that Brandon sent here. So took a long journey. Interference on that last collision, by the way. Neither car was down, so they keep going at it. Gotta thank Brandon for that one, but I think I do just about damn near every game his cars they send here are on the field. And why not? Look at the entertainment that they provide. Interference on that one, by the way, too. Still a 10-5 score, by the way, and still Tigray and Charizard literally just beating the crap out of each other. They did not ask for anything quite any better, really. I think Brandon be asking for a flip on Charizard's behalf to get the win here, if anything. Get your nails out, Brandon. It's time to start biting them, maybe. Just possibly. Interference sends both cars back to their own sides here. Good collision, but again, no flip. And then that time it is over. Charizard hangs in tough and gets the job done in Tigray. Full respect out to Tigray there, putting up and, just fighting the good fight. What a hell of a fight he put up there. But in the end, Charizard, and if my recollection serves me right, maybe once Brandon gets a hold of this, he can double check into this, but I believe that is Charizard's first 3-0 game in the CDL. He has accomplished it today. His first perfect game, and it's a win for the Storm here from the middleman spot. Charizard getting it done. Final score, San Jose 15, New Orleans 5. So, Brandon, good job with that lineup to match up to New Orleans, and sometimes you pick a line, you get it right, and that's exactly what he did. And Charizard stepping up big today, the rookie. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's his first 3-0 game here in the Car Demolition League, so congrats to him. Hell of a game that he played. Great battle that he had with Golden Rat there. Good battle that he had with Menace. Hanging tough with Tigray and outlasting the veteran Tigray. Overall, great game there by him, and really closer game than what the score says in a way, just because of that last battle, and could have gone either way, but in the end, Charizard outlasting Tigray for the W. So, that being said, both these teams will leave this game with a record of 4 wins, 2 losses. Where do they go from here? For the San Jose Storm, I cannot wait to see this matchup take place. It should be a good one, because Nevada's been impressive recently. Well, that's who San Jose plays next. The Storm on the road to take on the Nevada Thunder. Should be a great game. A lot could be on the line as far as ranking in the Pacific Division there. For the New Orleans Gladiators, I can't wait to see their game either. They will be on the next CDL Live, as a matter of fact. San Jose's and Nevada's, you'll have to request that game, but if you're by chance a Gladiators fan, that is going to be a very fun one to watch. And I think I mentioned it with Atlanta on the field, but New Orleans at Atlanta on the March 9th edition of CDL Live. That should be a fun game, because now, both those teams are 4-2. Well, they're going to be 4-2 when they go to meet each other. So, definitely going to be an entertaining one there. But one more game left here on this March 6th game day. We get set for our main event. The Jacksonville Bengals on the road to take on the Buffalo Warriors. Big game for both teams. Both of them looking for the win. And it should be a really just fun game to watch. Should be a really close game. Jacksonville and Buffalo, Bengals, Warriors, however you want to say it, it's next, and it's our main event. Only on CDL Live. Stay tuned. Welcome back to CDL Live, folks. Our March 6th game day is about to come to its conclusion. It's the main event right here. Right now, the Jacksonville Bengals on the road to do battle with Gregory Fox's Buffalo Warriors. This should be an entertaining battle without any doubt. Buffalo only 3 points behind Jacksonville here in the standings, but kind of close to similar records. Buffalo with a 3-2 record coming into this game, looking to go to 4-2, whereas the Bengals, they have not lost a game in regulation yet. They come into this game 3 wins, no regulation losses, 1 tie, 1 overtime loss, thus the 12 points. So looking for a big performance today are the Bengals, as are the Warriors. Both these teams trying to gain ground in their respective divisions, and Jacksonville, they sat second place coming into this game day in the Southeast Division. We just saw Atlanta loss earlier to Hartford, so with the win, the Bengals could take first place in the Southeast. Point blank, it's just how it is. So definitely some big things on the line for Jacksonville. For Buffalo, they of course want to keep up with teams like Hartford that won in their division. So Yes, going to be a tough game here for both teams. I would definitely think should be a great game for us to see as spectators. Bangums, oh, for me is rock. But Bangums and Warriors. Let's get a look at the lineups.
Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me act a fool. Up in here, up in here.
Here we go. Testarossa out there to start things off for Jacksonville. And on the home side of the field for Buffalo is Pioneer to lead the way for the Warriors. Game on our main event has begun. Both cars still up, and this time Pioneer has the flip. 5-0 Buffalo in the lead. Jacksonville now sending out Zap. The offense on their side to take on Pioneer. And Pioneer is going to be down. Off screen, but down. It's a clean flip, and the Jacksonville Bangums have tied this game up at 5 apiece. Green Blaze now out there for the Buffalo Warriors. And no interference there. Came very close. Green Blaze has the flip. 10-5. Buffalo retakes the lead. Black Spectite now out there for the Jacksonville Bangums. And came close to an interference. There was none. Cars are going to go back on their own sides anyway. Both cars were still up. And both of them still battling. Black Spectite and Green Blaze. Going head to head here. What a matchup. Two good defensive cars. And Green Blaze is down. We got a tie game. 10-10 the score. And now, Black Spectite set to take on what? From the Buffalo Warriors side. Game tied at 10. Again, two good defensive cars here. Buffalo put that defense at that middleman spot and the captain's spot. Neither car down, both cars still going at it. Good game on hand. We are tied at 10 apiece. Black Spectite and What go at it, and that time What almost had a flip, and that time What does have a flip. So Black Spectite able to recover the first time, but then knocked right down by a following blow, goes down, and the score right now, 15-10, Buffalo in the lead. RDO6 Jr. now out there for the Jacksonville Bangums. Looking to force overtime. What out there for Buffalo? Looking to get the win for the Warriors. And here they go. And RDO6 Jr. is down, and both the Puerto Rico players and Tampa Bay Gators and even the Atlanta Avengers at this point were just like, thank you. But if you're, I guess, the Hartford Homies or the Philadelphia Demons or any team in the Northeast, you're just like, God, chat. And several other cuss words you could add on to that. But the final score of this game, an entertaining game I might add, Buffalo Warriors 15, Jacksonville Bangums 10 would be the final score. And that is the first loss that the Bangums have taken in regulation all season long. They fall to a record of 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, 1 overtime loss. Still at 12 points on the season. For the Buffalo Warriors, they improved to 4-2 on the season. And I don't have the standings right in front of me, but trying to remember who was 3-2 and improved to 4-2. That Northeast division is looking really damn good right now and really close. So, again, if you don't want to spoil any of the games you might want to request, wait to see it. But if you just want to see the standings and how things look, by all means, wait till the end of the video. So, yeah, spoiler alert. Coming up, that, yep, you're going to get today's complete list of scores. And not only that, you're going to be also getting the standings after all that. So, if you want to see any of those games that I have listed at the beginning of this video, this is your heads up. But yeah, that being said, thank you for watching the Car Demolition League. Appreciate all the support. Hope you enjoyed this March 6th edition of CDL Live. Next edition should be just as good. Pittsburgh taking on Cleveland. New Mexico at Houston. Tampa Bay at Jacksonville. Should be a fun game to watch there. New Orleans at Atlanta. And of course, Hartford Homies at the Gowanda Outlaws. That will be the main event. So, going to be a fun day of CDL on that March 9th game day. Till then, thank you and peace. Request some games. Don't spoil it for yourself. But if you don't care, here it comes. Spoiler alert. You got the warning. In 3, 2, 1. Here are the complete list of today's scores.
Look, if you had one shot, or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted.
Oh my god, you were jamming to that. I'm sorry, but there's copyright law.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard to Snoop Deal Double G, but I somehow, somewhere keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. Man, I kick a little something for the cheese and make a few moves while I.
Oh, but covers are perfectly fucking fine. Oh, yes, yes, yes. No one else can play your music on their fucking video or whatever, but, you know, you can go on ahead and, yeah, you know, remake their whole song, but that's cool. That's cool, right? Yeah. Just a grown man playing with toy cars here. Hands up. Freeze. Leave me alone here. Jeez, man. All I want to do is play some freaking music.
This how they do it where I'm from. I'm thugging in the club until I see the sun shine on my face. Got the thing on my waist. Walk into my Escalade. Tell them niggas I'm not afraid to let the night.
Sing it out. Make it right out. What? Everyone else can do it, but I can't re-sing a song? What? What? Yeah, okay, whatever.
So much drama in LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop D.O. Double G, but I somehow, someway, keep coming up with funky ass shit nearly every.
Seeing you were getting all into it. Yeah, he was jamming. He was jamming, but yeah, no, yep, copyright. Copyright. Yep, you was jamming, but copyright, yeah.
Du hast mich. Du hast mich. Du hast mich. Du hast mich.
Timmy, I just sang a copyrighted song. We're going to jail.